Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the 1-day chart. We're sitting here at $3.06. Yesterday, when XRP was dipping, everyone acted like it was over for XRP. I saw people saying, here we go, under $2. But like I said, it's gonna bounce back up, and we're gonna go so much higher from here. This is just the beginning of where XRP is going. That's why I always tell people, if you're going to listen to all these weak hands and these people that want to sell every time the market's red, you are not going to make it to financial freedom. And there's another narrative going on right now. Bitcoin is up forever. And these no-coiners, what I mean by that is people holding a piece of a Bitcoin telling other people this is an up-only cryptocurrency. But it's not. Here's the end of the 2018 run, where Bitcoin crashed down. Once again, in 2021, going into 2022, Bitcoin crashed down, and it's gonna crash again. And then people are gonna be talking about the next cycle in 2028. But utility is gonna change the 4-year cycle forever. And one thing I'm keeping an eye on is the Bitcoin dominance. Everybody says it's weakening. Any day now, you could expect the Bitcoin dominance to really start to break down. And as that happens, XRP is going to start to skyrocket with the rest of these altcoins. And once again, people are saying that was the bear trap. Get ready for new highs. Altseason starts in February 2025. Everybody is saying February 2025, while other people are calling for a major crash to happen. It looks very good going forward for XRP. I'm just going to leave it there. We are about to enter phase 2. ETH will break $4,000 by the end of February. I would agree with that. I think this cycle got prolonged for some reason. A lot of people said we should have been in phase 2 in early January, but now it looks like it's setting up for early February. And they could have had something to do with the election. A lot of people think XRP is running this altcoin cycle going forward. We just got to wait and see what happens. But I am telling you right now, we are going much higher. Jim Cramer exposed for market manipulation. Investors are urging the SEC to investigate. I mean, I always look at it like this. You want to know where to put your money? Anywhere but where Jim Cramer tells you to put your money. They point out Silicon Valley Bank. Remember that stock plummeted? Signature Bank failed. Then there was Best Buy, Kohl's, Orvo. And recently, Jim Cramer recommended buying NVIDIA. We just watched what happened with NVIDIA. That's why it's like a reverse Cramer inside of crypto. And he might now be telling us we're going into alt season. Jim Cramer says, I own Bitcoin. You should own Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a great thing to have in your portfolio. That's pretty much telling you this cycle is almost over for Bitcoin. I still think one last push up before it starts to break down. And this will most likely be the last big run for Bitcoin. Tether is going to collapse out at some point. I think the US is going to pull the plug on Tether very soon. When that happens, you could expect Bitcoin to plummet down with it. It'll take the whole space with it, but anything that's not propped up by Tether, I will say this again, will bounce back very quick. XRP is ready for $4. Raise your hand if you are ready. And you could see the charts don't lie. You know, whenever we have a crash down, usually we have a push up. We've seen this before with XRP. This was a big crash, and people are expecting a major push upward from here. I still see people calling $5 within the next 2 weeks. Is it going to happen that soon? Absolutely, it can. Will it? We really don't know, because nobody could call the market 100%. And I stress that because they keep putting days on things. Whenever there's a date given with a prediction, you could expect nothing to happen on that day. XRP takes off when everyone least expects it. And Brad Garlinghouse was talking earlier today. Take a listen to what he says here.
I'll start by just saying that I have spoken directly with the president on some of these things, and it's very clear to me that the president is committed. He understands the value of these technologies. He wants to be the crypto president of the United States. And I think, one of their clear priorities is to undo some of the harmful things the prior administration was doing. You've already seen the kind of rescinding of what's called SAB 121, which is about banks being able to custody crypto. That's a very big deal. I think the momentum, is already there in week one, and I'm optimistic about what we're going to see ahead. On the strategic reserve question specifically, look, I mean, there's almost two questions to think about. One, does it make sense for the U.S. to have a strategic reserve around crypto? And I think that I'm going to leave to the politicians and our elected officials to make a decision on.
Fair enough.
If we want to maximize the likelihood of that, I think we want to have as much support for that. And by the way, this idea that somehow I was campaigning against a strategic reserve of crypto or even Bitcoin alone is just false. It's just patently false.
Mhm.
I think if the US decides to do this, let's maximize what it means for crypto at large. I think this administration, whatever you may think of their particular policies, they have demonstrated repeatedly they are America first. They want to put US technologies first. They want to put US companies first, particularly given how US companies have been penalized over the last 4 years. I think they're signaling they want to help those companies. And so, look, it's frustrating to see the tribalism kind of come to the fore over this past weekend. I think if a crypto strategic reserve exists, I think it only makes sense to diversify beyond just one asset. But look, I have said, and as I tweeted yesterday, I think we should advocate, broadly for the industry. XRP is one of those, as it is inherently global, but there are obviously individuals and companies around the world that are building on the ledger using XRP, and I think that's frankly why we're having an event like today. So, I mean, the last thing I'll say about this is, it's interesting to me that a small country like Bhutan has already launched a crypto strategic reserve, and out of the gate, they created a basket. And that wasn't that to me. It's just like, yeah, that makes sense. If you want to diversify risk, any financial advisor would tell you, holding different, kind of a basket of assets is going to reduce risk and makes good sense. And again, from my point of view, if we want to maximize the likelihood of it passing through Congress and getting the president's support, I think it only makes sense to be aware of his politics and the things that he prioritizes.
Donald Trump is all about America first. That's why American-made cryptocurrencies will be part of a strategic reserve. And Brad, he wasn't doing anything. All of a sudden, he became like public enemy number one to these Bitcoin maxis, which made zero sense to me, because Brad was also the one spending millions upon millions of dollars fighting the SEC on behalf of this entire space, including Bitcoin. But nobody wants to see it that way. And it does make sense to diversify. I always told all of you to diversify. I said, you're a crypto investor. Don't hold just one cryptocurrency. I love XRP, but I also love XTC and XLM and HBAR. I'm more of a utility maxi than anything else, because I see the value in every one of these cryptocurrencies. And that makes sense for the United States as well. And any country that has a basket, they're going to be far well off than somebody who only holds Bitcoin. And, you know, even El Salvador, everybody always talks about, well, they're the Bitcoin capital of the world. And Bitcoin is running on Algorand rails inside of that country. It's always going to need another network to be able to complete transactions. Other than that, it's way too expensive and it's way too slow. Ripple and Ondo Finance are bringing OUSG, tokenized US Treasuries, to the XRP ledger with 24/7 minting and redemption using RLUSD, unmatched liquidity, and institutional grade security. This is huge. Remember I said once they come up with an alternative to Tether, because that was anybody who was propping up Tether, their big argument was it's way too tied to those T-bills. They're never going to get rid of Tether. But now we're starting to see the shift towards RLUSD here in the United States as well. And this is big because this also brings in BlackRock. So think about it like this. You have XRP, Ondo, BlackRock equals the future of finance. $100 per XRP. That's just the beginning. That's how big this actually is. And I'm expecting this to gain a lot of momentum over the coming months. But these were the big announcements that we were expecting today as well. And I'm not a fan of BlackRock. I always said I don't want BlackRock to even have an XRP ETF. BlackRock to me is just one massive evil entity. And I look at it as a shell company for the elites as well. But if they're going to utilize XRP for its actual use case, utilize the XRP ledger for tokenized assets, that'll bring a lot of value to XRP. And if it brings value to XRP, I'm all for it. Because I want all of us to get that financial freedom. I think it starts in 2025 and it's going to continue for the next couple of years. But when you look at XRP sitting here at $3.07, everybody's like, it's so boring watching XRP. You know, it was really boring watching XRP around 50 cents for over 3 years. Think about that. And the run-up that we are about to witness, it's going to be absolutely epic. And I'm going to tell anybody new to crypto, you got to get through the boring part to get to the exciting times. And holding XRP right now is not boring. It's like we're in the calm before the storm. You could see the momentum building for this cryptocurrency. And once it blasts off, that's when things are going to get very exciting. You want to be here for that. Every time the market turns red, everybody wants to run for the door, or they want to put their money into something that is pumping right now. But while you're over here chasing whatever's pumping right now, when you least expect it, XRP is going to skyrocket in price. And a lot of people are not going to be able to get in quick enough. And I stress that. You know, it's a patience game inside of crypto. You have to have patience for it. You also have to have the stomach for it. Because when you look at your portfolio and you're watching it dip and you're thinking to yourself, wow, my portfolio just took a major dip today. Most of us that have been holding for a long period of time, we're numb to that. You got to build up that numbness so that you could watch it and you look at it and you're like, it's down today. So be it. I know it's coming back up tomorrow. But people act like once a dip happens, there is no tomorrow. But here we are back above $3. XRP is still the number 3 digital asset. And I don't know what's going to happen with Tether. I'm going to talk more about that in another video for later today. I'm also going to go a little bit more into detail about what's going on around the Rippleverse SEC case. because there was some fake news around that as well today. And a lot of people were propping it up like it was over. You know how you know when Rippleverse SEC comes to an end? All you're going to have to do is look at the chart for XRP. The thing is, it's already going to be popping off before that news even drops. That's why you always got to be holding XRP. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.